All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome here to another night of racing. Tonight, we are here with the Cannonball Racing Series. If I can just get my stuff to get up to where it's supposed to be. iRacing's been giving the drivers some issues all week, but I'm glad to see that we're here tonight with the Cannonball Series. Let's see here. Where is my stuff so I can get us to the grid? Come on, you. Okay. Grid. Well, this is an interesting grid if I ever saw one. Merrick Watchhorn will be starting off in first. Blake Witkowski there in second. John Daniels will be rolling off second row inside in third. Outside second row starting fourth is Aaron Raymond. And fifth position here tonight inside row number 3 is Maurice Gamillion. And John Houston there to his outside in that sixth position. Matthew Barker in the seventh position here tonight inside row number 4. Outside row number 4 is Jacob Elkins in position number 8. And in position number 9 tonight will be starting the 97 of Kai Shepard. And in 10th position on the outside of row number 5 is Jack Stanley. And the inside of row number 6 is going to be Van Drugman starting, rounding out your field of 11 drivers here tonight. Whoa, that was a little quick here. Didn't realize that we moved that quickly along as we get set to rock and roll here tonight. Lights are out, waiting to hear them cars fire up. And drivers are down and away here at North Wilkesboro. This is kind of short track racing here tonight for their all-star race tonight. A lot of these drivers having a great season so far. Merrick Watchhorn out front had a decent run the other night in a different series. We're running the out front there in that Chevy machine here tonight. Blake Witkowski out there in second. John Daniels there in third in at number 02. Your front three at the moment. And we got some craziness going on back here with the iRacing. Getting some red marks here, so I'm not sure exactly what that would be from. Yeah, that 91 machine is our lead machine here tonight for our All-Star race. And it looks like tonight is dominated by Chevrolets. I see 2 Toyotas and 1 lonely Ford back here with that number 97. Throwback there to John Little. Pace cars still out front as they come around corner 3 and 4. Now bear with me as I may get a little lost here a little bit at this racetrack because it is going to be fast track. And we are down and away, coming down here into corner number 1, side by side, and almost a bump there from the number 28 of John Houston as he battles up through there, ends up getting out to the outside. And we already got one sideways coming down the front stretch, and that's going to be Maurice Chameleon going around there in the number 44. It's a short track racing at its finest tonight. As we see there, he comes up the racetrack. I don't know, maybe the 24 might have come down a little bit. We'll see here as we come out of corner number 4. Keep an eye on these 3 as we see the 28 there. Almost looks like they squeezed the 24. And the 44 ends up coming across. That's the 44 of Maurice Chameleon. They catch the 28 of John Houston. John Houston goes sideways down here into the bottom grid here. Sideways in that 28 Haviland machine. And that 24 of Jacob Elkins as he pushes on through to get through. Holding it together, though, as he comes on through. Maurice Chameleon gets it. Doesn't look like there's too much damage there on them cars right now, so they should be able to get them straightened back out and back underway. Merrick Watchorn still our leader, but with that there, that's going to hand the second place over to Witkowski. Aaron Raymond there in third, so the front row hasn't changed. Aaron Raymond no up a spot. John Daniels up or down 1. Barker moves up 2. Jacob Elkins moves up 2. Jack Stanley moves up 3 after that caution. And so does Von Drugman. Von Drugman. Maurice Chameleon and John Houston both down 5 positions now from where they started this race. Everybody's getting double file back up. Lights are out on the pace machine. A little bump and run there coming from behind. Watchorn adds that 29 of Aaron Raymond's trying to get a decent start, and he does, as Merrick gets a great run out there to the front. Here comes the 29 of Raymond right there in second, rolling through. We are back here out onto the backstretch now down here in the corner number 3. Still side by side for second place between Aaron Raymond and Blake Witkowski. John Daniels there in fourth. In that number 02 machine, Jacob Elkins there in the 24 moves up into 5th as he battles to the outside of Matthew. Kai Shepard rolling up now as he's up 2 spots as he's there in that number 97 John Deere and moving his way up towards the front. We got the Napa 9 there as well working up through the field. That's Van Drugman and John Houston and Maurice McMillan struggling here so far back towards the back as they struggle to get back up towards the front. Aaron Raymond still up here in second as he gets around Blake Witkowski and that 31 machine. John Daniels sitting here for it. Jacob Elkins there in 5th. And I'm sorry, I'm here rounding everything off and forgot to turn this on for you guys. So there you go. Now you have your ticker up there across the top, so that should help you keep track of where everybody's at. And if we get a little spread out here, maybe we will go with the tower instead as we're here with the Quantum Cup Series. Merrick Watchorn still our race leader with Raymond there in second. Blake Witkowski there in third. John Daniels here in fourth. Jacob Elkins fifth. Van Drugman there in sixth with Matthew in seventh. John Houston eighth. Kai Shepard ninth. Jack Stanley back here in 10th and at number 95. So John Houston's trying to make his way back up through the field. As he gets down there onto the bottom, ends up catching that inside wall, and then gets bounced back up the racetrack. Has to gather it up as he comes down the front straightaway. Loses a spot, but he's getting it gathered back up as he chases back down Kai Shepard there in the number 97. Lots going on here, trying to catch it all there as we see Van Drugman there in the number 9, chasing down Jacob Elkins in that number 24 machine here tonight. And there you see the O2, but Merrick Watchorn still the race leader out front as it's a little ways back here to Blake now. Aaron Raymond there in third, John Daniels fourth, with Jacob Elkins there in fifth. Those are your top 5 drivers. And remember, we only have 11 drivers running here tonight in this all-star event here from North Wilkesboro for the Cannonball Racing Series and the Quantum Cup Series. And it looks like Elkins is going, or I'm sorry, Shepard's going to try to give a run there on to Matthew Barker as he's riding the bottom there. And there come Houston trying to make a way to find a gap to work through as he's going to go and shoot it there on the outside. Almost shooting 3 wide. Almost wants to give Matt a bump and run, but decides against it as Shepard falls back there to 9th. And here comes the 28 of Houston working to the bottom side. 200 laps is the distance tonight for the All-Star race. As Merrick Watchorn's out front, Witowski second, Aaron Raymond there in third, John Daniels fourth, Van Drugman fifth, Jacob Elkins sixth, John Houston there in seventh, Matthew Barker ace, sitting down there on the outside as John Houston's working that inside in at number 28 and doing a great job working his way around the traffic cars as he's trying to get his way back up towards the front. He's down 1 spot now from where he started. So he's got to chase down Jacob Elkins in that number 24 to get back up to where he started. And we got John Daniels here in fifth, Van Drugman fourth, Aaron Raymond up here in third as he looks like to be gaining a little bit on Blake Witowski. And Witowski looks to be losing some on our leader. As we're here at lap 18 of 200 here tonight. Looked like the 29 of Aaron Raymond got a little loose coming out of the corner. Now we dive back down here to the inside as we work off of 1 and 2 back here towards the front straightaway. Down here into the corner, they work their way around. Raymond still trying to work his way up there towards the front. Merrick Watchorn still our leader. Blake Witkowski. We're looking there at the battle for third and fourth between that's battle for second between Blake Witkowski and Aaron Raymond. And Von Drugman there in fourth, and that now on machine number 9. John Daniels and Jacob Elkins closing in on each other here as well as the race progresses here at lap 22. Jacob Elkins doing what he can, trying to get under here into the inside. And keep a hold of it there, Elkins, as you get a little loose coming off the corner. Down here back in the corner number 3 and 4. As you saw the entrance of pit road there, now coming down the front stretch down here in the corner number 1. Trying to see where the battles are. And you can kind of see just how little this racetrack is. It's not a very big racetrack. We'll go ahead and take a look at the race info here in just a quick moment once I get everything up here. So the race info here tonight, and it is an oval. It's only a little over a half-mile length, 103 degrees with 80 degrees ambient temperatures. 103 is the track temp, 37% humidity. Cloudy with 7-mile-per-hour winds. We're on lap 25 now of 200. 25 complete, rather. So an eighth of the way through this race so far, and everybody battling it out as Merrick Watchorn looks to be walking away with it right at the moment. And here comes Van Drugman, and there looks to be a problem with Blake Witowski. Not sure what exactly happened, but he kind of got shaken up, and keep it together, guys, as they come off the corner. That's the number 9 of Van Drugman to his outside. Going to pinch that 31 down there to the inside. Not sure that's going to be... Wasn't sure if that was going to work or not, as the is a tight squeeze at some areas of the racetrack here tonight to get those cars get in line. As now Aaron Raymond is up to second, Van Drugman up to third, Blake Witowski there in fourth. John Daniels still sitting here in fifth with Jacob Elkins back here in sixth. John Houston in seventh. Ace sitting here in eighth. Kai Shappert rolling the bottom, looking to see if he can get underneath Ace, and does so momentarily, but Ace is going to get a good run on the outside, coming down here into corner number 1, and here comes Shappert. He's still not giving up there on the inside. Kind of curious, though, on what the tire wear would be like here with such a short track style racing. Now we're looking here at second through fourth. Everybody battling there. You see the 29 of Aaron Raymond right there on the bumper is the 31 of Blake Witowski. And in front of those two, and he gets a little loose up there against that outside wall. That's going to open the inside up there to Blake Witowski as he gets to the inside of Aaron Raymond. Aaron Raymond was running second, but now has fallen back as Van Drugman is now up to second place. And Aaron Raymond trying to hold on to third, but Blake Witowski's there to try to take it back. Van Drugman having a great night so far as he is up 9 spots from the start of this race with Aaron Raymond there in third, Blake Witowski there in fourth. And our race leader is none other than Merrick Watchorn at the moment. He was our pole sitter, and he's currently sitting out front by a ways. Here it looks to be about 5 seconds between him and second place. And there's about a second gap between second place and there's about a second, almost 2 second gap between man and second as Blake Witowski takes over third as Aaron Raymond. I looked like he ended up in the wall for a moment. And we got a car in the pits, and that's going to be Matthew Ace Barker. So Barker down here in the pits with that number 96 machine. As out here on the track, Van Drugman, Blake Witowski, 35 laps complete. As they all come around here into the front stretch. Down here in the corner number 1 comes Merrick Watchorn. Here they come across the line is Blake Witowski, Aaron Raymond, John Daniels. Jacob Elkins sitting here in 6th. John Houston here in 7th. Guy Shepherd 8th. Maurice Gamillion there in 9th. Jack Stinley sitting in 10th. And here you see Merrick Watchorn. That's how quickly things can go here at the short track. As Jack Stanley's back here toward the back, and not too far behind him comes our leader, Merrick Watchorn. These lap times are only about a 36, 37 lap time, I think. Or no, I'm sorry, lap times are 20 seconds. Best time overall was set by Watchorn with a 19:07. The second fastest here tonight was Aaron Raymond with a 19:13. Third fastest goes to Blake Witowski with a 19:15. So very close, very tight field here right now. As drivers are making their way around the racetrack. Van Drugman there second. Blake Witowski there third. Aaron Raymond and John Daniels back here in 4th and 5th. Jacob Elkins sitting in 6th, trying to chase down these two drivers up in front of him. But Matthew still sitting on pit lane. Not sure exactly what happened to Matthew. as I'm not seeing anything that would have put them down into the pits. Unless maybe incident points of some sort. I'm unsure about that number 96 machine here tonight for the Cannonball Racing Series and the Quantum Cup. Or the Cannonball Quantum Cup Series, I should say. As they come down here into the corner. Blake Witowski here in third, Aaron Raymond in fourth, John Daniels there in fifth. Jacob Elkins, John Houston there in seventh. Kai Shepard in eighth. Maurice Chameleon there in ninth with Jack Stanley in 10th. And we got Matthew many laps down here as the drivers have not let up. And we're here on lap 43 of 200. So closing in on a quarter of the way through the race here tonight. As Van Drugman looks like he might be a little off the pace or not. I'm unsure. We'll see what he does coming around here this time. Oh, he's still okay. Blake Witowski back here in third. Still doing all right, I believe. They work their way around North Wilkesboro here tonight. Aaron Raymond getting passed by John Daniels for that spot. He's going to try to get back to the inside and make a move, but cannot get there. And hang on to it there, Raymond, as he's a little loose coming off of corner number 2. And he's got Jacob Elkins right there at the bumper, and he gets a little bump, gets it loose, and that's going to, oh no! Jacob Elkins tries to give a little bump and run there to Aaron Raymond, and it just did not work out. Aaron Raymond ended up coming back around and catching him. Now we'll take another look at it here. Short track racing, some drivers are going to try a bump and run, but unfortunately this bump and run just did not quite work out to the favor of the 24. As you see him come in, give him a nice little bump, tries to send him up the racetrack, and he does just that, but unfortunately the 29 just lost it and got so loose he couldn't control it and come back down into Jacob Elkins, sending him around as well, as Van Drugman is shown as our leader at the moment. As Merrick Watchorn shown here in 6th. Okay, so Merrick Watchorn has pitted, others have not. So this is going to get interesting now, the way this pit strategy is playing out. And here's some come down pit lane. There you see the 29 of Aaron Raymond. Maurice Chameleon coming in. Maurice Chameleon stayed out. John Houston come in. Blake Witowski in. Jacob Elkins back there in the number 24. Van Drugman currently up 10 spots from where he started, as he's currently sitting on the lead. John Daniels here in second. Kai Shepard in at number 97, doing a fantastic job so far as he's up here into third. Merrick Watchorn, at past car, as up there now in the third as Kai Shepard drops it on the pit lane. Still a few drivers have not pitted, and that's the likes of Van Drugman, John Daniels, and Jack Stanley all have not pitted. All right, so I'm being told here with the likes of a lap 100 here, and it being a non-points race tonight for the Quantum Cup Series. We're going to see a full field invert for lead lap cars at lap number 100. The caution will come out, and the field will invert here tonight as we get rolling. And Drugman out there on the outside. Interesting choice for that 9 car as he gets down and away, and he gets a great jump coming down here and closes off that bottom lane coming into the corner. Looks like we got a few of them stacked up coming through the corner. And that's the likes of John Houston in amongst that mints, the 29 of Aaron Raymond, and the 28 going around, and Jacob Elkins. Jacob Elkins getting a piece of it as well as John Houston. Big part of it ends up spun around there at the back. Oh, here we see as they come off the corner of 24, coming up and trying to shoot the gap. Comes in and just doesn't check up in time and punts the 28 around once again. Those two drivers are going to be at each other, I'm sure, by the end of the night. As we got just a quick lapse here under caution. And just like before, I don't have a way to move. Well, we could try it, see if it works. Hey, Blake, just testing things out here. How's it going tonight? All right, so Blake is not joining us there. And they're getting ready to go back green flag race, so I don't want to really try to pull this together, so all right, lights are out as we're getting ready to roll. And coming off up corner number 4, Fred will pull that pace car onto pit road. And when that race over, green flag is out. John Daniels is the leader, but look out. Here comes Merrick Watchorn out there on the outside once again. And here comes the 97 of Kai Shafford on the outside as well. But the 02 getting a great run there on the inside. Great battle here for the lead between Watchorn and Daniels as they are side by side working off of corner number 4. Back around to the front, and a 24 and 28 are back together again. We'll see how well this works out for these two drivers as they are battling really hard here tonight. And a little bit of net code there between the 28 and some other drivers, but they all hold it together. And a little bump there into the 97. 4 wide, and that's not going to end well as the 97 ends up around and up into the outside wall, trying to get it straightened back around. No caution yet. And no caution at all as everybody gets it rolling in the right direction. We'll see if a late caution comes out, but it does not look like there's going to be. As John Houston's having some connection difficulty up there in that number 28. Here comes that number 24 who is right there on the bumper of the 9 of Van Drugman. Out front, though, it's Merrick Watchorn once again out front as the 02 of John Daniels there in second. John Houston down there on the bottom side, bringing with him the 29 of Aaron Raymond as Aaron Raymond's trying to get lapped back. Along with the 24 of Jacob Elkins, they are a couple laps down. If not, they might be one lap, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe they are more than one. Raymond's one, and so is Elkins. So they're both one lap down, trying to get it out, and the 28 goes sideways, coming off a corner 4, ends up getting slid around, and around he goes. And that's going to be John Houston there in that 28 machine, bringing out another caution here tonight. As we'll see it here. Look how loose the 28 gets as he tries to bring it underneath the 02. Brings it around and just it snaps out on him and just nowhere for other drivers to go to check up in time. It looks like the 29 of Aaron Raymond got a piece of that as well. That keeps it rolling enough. Tough break there for some drivers. Again, as another caution flag flies here tonight at North Wilkesboro. We're on lap 65 of 200. Merrick Watchorn, your race leader. It looks like Matthew called it done. That'd be Ace. Ace called it done. Elkins sitting in the pits. We're on his way out now. Aaron Raymond out here still on track. John Houston on his way out of the pits. Kai Shepard sitting in 7th. Jack Stanley in 6th. Maurice Gamillion there in 5th. Von Drugman there in 4th. Blake Witowski 3rd with John Daniels 2nd. Merrick Watchorn is your race leader. Good evening, Daniels. How's it going? This is Adam Flieger up in the booth. You got a copy?
I'm doing pretty good, Mr. Flieger. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Just trying to catch up with a driver or two, see if I can move people around here for interviews. And it looks like I can for the moment. Just my right click isn't working the way I thought it would, but that's here to say. But how's everything going out there on that short track of North Wilkesboro?
It's going pretty well. I started pretty good. I saved fuel because we were planning on doing the lap 100 invert, and we weren't going to have enough to have fuel to make it to the end before those cautions. So I was saving fuel the whole time. It's worked out pretty well for me, I think. The Find Lever Die Trying Chevy's doing pretty good tonight so far. We'll see if we got anything for Merrick up here on this restart.
Alrighty, well, it looks like you're about to go green once again. It is a short way around this racetrack here tonight. Probably one of the shortest ones you guys have on circuit, isn't it?
Pretty much, with the exception of the half-mile Bristol-Martinsville. Yeah, it's one of the shortest. Quick laps, so just a big case of picking them up and locking them down.
Alrighty, well, good luck trying to get up there and stay with Merrick.
I'll try. We'll see what we can do on fresh tires after the end.
Alrighty. If I can get him moved where he needs.
I'll get it.
Ah, got it. Green flag is out. John Daniels there on the inside. Gets a little loose. Hopefully that's not my fault. Merrick Watcher comes down here into the corner. Von Drugman there in 2nd. Jack Stanley there in 3rd. John Daniels in fifth. Kai Shappert sixth. And Drugman now up there in the second. Blake Witowski there in third. John Daniels working his way back up towards the front as he now goes to the bottom of the 95. Looks like we got a blinker in the back, and that's the 28 of Houston again. Blinking in and out a little bit as he's working his way back through the field. And we got that lone Ford still trying to work across all these Chevys as he falls back now into the 8th position, letting some of these faster Chevys around as Houston still blinking in and out. Not sure exactly what's going on there for that machine here tonight. John Daniels up here in 5th. Jack Stanley there in 4th. As it looks like, oh, that's the 29 of Raymond. That's what's throwing me off. The Skittles machine. And the 24 getting loose. That's Jacob Elkins getting loose coming off of the corner as he gets up there to the bumper of the 02 of John Daniels. Van Drugman up here trying to battle Merrick as he goes to the bottom side. Battling. He's right there on that bumper. And we know that 9 is quick. And the 95 of Jack Stanley ended up into the outside wall coming through corner number 2. As they work through 3 and 4, it's still Watchhorn with the lead, but Drugman right there with them. Coming out through corner number 1. On to the back stretch they go. Single foul at the moment. John Daniels back here fighting side by side of Jacob Elkins as Elkins really wanting that lap back. Same with Raymond. Raymond up here to 3rd. Or up here close to 3rd, I guess, if you're looking at positions. But he's actually sitting in 9th. Oh, no, he gets into the back of the 31, sending the 31 of Blake Witowski around. And caution will come out once again as Witowski gets spun around and into the infield grass. And as we're watching it here, you'll see that 29 kind of give that 31 a little bit of a shove coming out of the corner. Sends that Milwaukee 31 around. Jack Link's Milwaukee machine around, and he did a great job keeping it off that inside guide rail as he gets it started back straight again and back out onto the racetrack. So don't look like very much damage to that number 31 machine. Just unfortunate here tonight. Man Drugman there in 2nd. John Daniels in 3rd. John Houston in 4th. Jack Stanley 5th with Maurice Chameleon 6th. So we still got 2 drivers a lap down. We're going to kind of leave this go. I'm going to not pull drivers until maybe lap 100 when I can definitely pull them properly. I don't want to screw up somebody's race like I feel I almost did there with Daniels, but Daniels back up here in the 2nd. He's got 2 lap cars in front of him. The 24 and the 29 beating on each other here under caution. And the 02 getting in on the action. '24 dropping to the back. Looks like Raymond may have got the... no, he's dropping to the back as well. Not sure what's up with these 2 drivers. I think some tempers are flaring back there at the back of the pack. Kai Shappert has called it done, it looks like. Red pulls that pace car off. They're side by side and back racing once again down the front stretch. American gets a great restart down here in the corner number 1. The 9 of Drugman right there with them in the 29 of Houston on the upper lane as he brings it back around in the 95, getting a little punt back here as well as Raymond and the drivers try to work their way up through the field. And I don't think that 24 is done yet, as they are 3 wide down here in the corner number 2, back around here to the backstretch. And it's tight, and the 44 gets squeezed up to the outside wall coming down here in the corner number 3. 24 getting a little loose. That's Jacob Elkins getting a little loose coming down here in the corner number 3, and 4 gets even more loose coming out of 4. That's going to lose some momentum and some forward bite as he comes out of the corner. The 44 giving him a good shot coming down here in the corner number 1. Gets a little loose once again coming out of corner 2 and down here into 3. And I'm looking at that Blake Witowski. He's getting really loose as he ends up falling back now after that car gets loose. Lap 85 of 200. And once again, keep in mind at lap 100, there is going to be an invert of the field for all those that are on the lead lap. So just kind of keep that in mind as the drivers run here at North Wilkesboro tonight for this all-star race. Everybody looking pretty good here. A lot of great paint schemes, and some people might call them liveries out there. I call them wraps. A lot of great wraps out there. We come down here in the corner number 1 and 2, working to the backstretch. Van Drugman right there with the leader. John Houston is as well there in third. Here comes the 0-2, John Daniels. John Houston still having issues with connection issues, it seems, in that number 28 as he's blinking in and out here and there. Blake Witowski in that number 31, battling back here in this pack as the 29 and 24 are still trying to battle their way back. And as I thought, Shappert called it done, and he is out of this race as we're side by side back here. The 31 and the 24 is back to the bumper of that 29. Not sure if we should have those two drivers together, but it's putting on some action here at the short track as they work through 1 and 2, or I'm sorry, 3 and 4 back around. No, that was 1 and 2. Back there into 3 and 4. Having some issues back here towards the back. Van Drugman second with John Houston slowly rolling the leaders in. Like I said, he was having a little bit of connection issue here tonight. Blake Witowski back here in the back trying to get around John Daniels, and he does. So John Daniels falls back to 5th now. Maurice Gavillion here in 6th in that number 44. Van Drugman up 9 spots here so far from where he started and working real hard to get up there to Merrick Watchhorn. And come across the stripe back down in the corner number 1. And now in the 3 and 4, it's going to be Merrick Watchhorn still the leader, but Van Drugman getting company, and he gets loose, has to chase it up the racetrack some. And John Houston almost was able to capitalize on that mistake there from Van Drugman, but he collects it enough that John Houston stays in behind. And like we said before, it looks like Houston's having a little bit of connective issue as he's now working that outside lane over top of the 09, or over top of the 9. And caution is out here at lap 94. Unsure what this is for, if I can find it. Is this I think you're calling for the invert. And drivers here are inverting, it looks like. They try to figure this all out. So 95 should really be moving up towards the front somewhere. Van Drugman and Jacob Elkins should be, Jacob Elkins and Raymond should be back here towards the back still.
No go.
These two drivers get their laps back, it seems. Got John Daniels, Jack Stanley here on the front row.
No go. No
Maurice
go.
Chameleon and Blake Wachowski here on the second row. Van Drugman, John Houston, third row possibly. As the drivers are still trying to figure this out. And these two drivers still going at it. If I'm Merrick watching, I'd kind of be a little nervous with those two drivers behind me. Here tonight for this Quantum Cup Series All-Star Night for the Cannonball iRacing Series. Lights still on the pace car. Everybody looks to be doubled up now. We'll see if lights go out. And they do. Everybody's set and ready to roll here at lap 102. So that was the field invert caution. And we're getting ready to start the second half of the All-Star race tonight. There goes Fred into the infield. Barney gets that green flag out, and they are down and away. Coming out here into corner number one. John Daniels out here in front at the moment. And it looks like the 9 is loose and collects maybe a few cars here going through corner number one. Elkins up there towards the top side. Van Drugman there in the back. Everybody stays green, but what a sketchy turn one as we get started here with the second half of the All-Star event here tonight for the Quantum Cup Series Cannonball iRacing League. And they come down the back stretch here in the corner number 3. And here comes Maurice Chameleon trying to fight their way to the front. Van Drugman as well trying to get that car back underneath him as they come down here into the corner. John Houston back on the lead lap now as he works underneath the 29 of Aaron Raymond, who's also on the lead lap. I'm sorry, Houston was never off of the lead lap. Raymond was, and so is the 24 of Elkins, as Elkins kind of holding back at the moment. As everybody's side by side coming down the front stretch, and there you see Watchorn making a quick move to the front as he's now up here to third, working his way around the pack and up to second almost looking in at the lead as John Daniel knows he's got to really have something for Watchorn, as that is a quick number 91 here tonight. As Daniels takes to the inside, Watchorn goes to the outside, coming off of 4. still side by side, and it's still going to be Daniels that leads. But for how long is that inside lane going to be for John Daniels before he has to surrender that lead over to Watchorn, as Watchorn's getting a great run down here toward the backstretch. In the corner number 3, the 91 still running that higher lane. Who's going to get the drive off the corner? It is going to be Watchorn up on that high side. As them tires are going to heat up there on that 0-2 machine of Daniels. And staying down there on the low side, unable to bring it up against the wall and get a better entry arc. As he does so here, coming into 3 and 4 now. Maurice Gamillion also there in that 3rd position, looking now underneath Daniels. A little farther back, we got the 9 machine of Van Drugman, who's been doing great all race long, up to 5th position now, as he works now down through turns 3 and 4, coming back across into the start-finish lane, and he gets around the 31 of Blake Witowski. And still keeping tabs on Jacob Elkins. He's back here with that 29 once again, as these two have definitely had some words here tonight as he gets back up there to the bumper of the 29 and gives him a shot, give him another shot coming through the corner. And the 29 is going to get a little loose. Merrick Watchorn still our leader with Daniels there in 2nd, Gamillion there in 3rd. Van Drugman, though, doing a great job. He's now up to 4th. Blake Witowski falls back to 5th. Jake Stanley sitting in 6th right now. Houston falling back here to 7th. And Raymond and Jacob Elkins still battling together back here toward the back. As these two drivers really are beating and banging off of each other's cars all race long. As Elkins now Raymond pushes Elkins down there, or no, I did have it right. Elkins pushed Raymond down there to the inside, and they're still battling there for that position. John Daniels up front there in 2nd, Gamillion there in 3rd, Van Drugman there in 4th, with Blake Witowski there in 5th, Jake Stanley 6th, John Houston 7th, Jacob Elkins there in 8th, Aaron Raymond there in 9th. Van Drugman there sitting 3rd as he got around Maurice Gamillion. And now he sets his sight on that 0-2 of Daniels. That number 9 machine is another quick one here, and he may be the one to be able to give Watchorn a run for the money here as he makes the run down here to the inside of Daniels into 3 and 4 as they come out of 4. That inside lane holding strong there for Drugman at the moment as he brings it down, holds it down there, and gets a good run through 1 and 2. And Daniels surrenders that spot over to Drugman. Drugman now trying to set his sights on that number 91 of Watchorn as he's out front. And we saw the speed out of Watchorn earlier in the race as they set for a great run here tonight. And the 9 of Drugman getting a little loose. Remember, back at the beginning of the second half, Drugman got loose there when we did that field invert. He got loose now, and then had to gather it up and had to drive through the field once again, and has done a great job there as he's now up to 2nd, trying to set his sights on Watchorn. Gamillion sitting back here for it. Blake Witowski there. And 5th with Jack Stanley 6th. As everybody working through the grid right now. Watchorn, Drugman, Daniels, those are your top 3 with Gamillion and Witkowski there in 4th and 5th. Stanley, Houston, Elkins, Raymond round out the rest of your field here tonight as Shepard and Ace have called it done. And it looks like Watchorn's coming through the back of the field already as the 29 gave that spot away over to Watchorn. Now Elkins better be watching that rearview mirror. As Watchorn is coming through the pack now. Drugman trying to hang on to it as he's got to work around some lap traffic here soon as well. And we'll see if Watchorn gets caught up at all and Drugman can use him as a pick or whatever. as we see that there's 2.5 second gap between Watchhorn and Drugman. And there's about a 4 second back out here to Daniels from Watchhorn. Short track racing tonight at North Wilkesboro for the Quantum Cup Series. And be sure to check out them sponsors up there in the top right. As we got Twiggy, and I can't read the other. Sponsor. I know what I'm gonna be doing tomorrow, so we're gonna fix this issue of me not remembering things. We're gonna get a couple notebooks for each league tomorrow, and we're gonna fix that. Watchhorn out front, Drugman there in second, Daniels there third, Maurice Chameleon fourth, Blake Witowski there in fifth, Jack Stanley sixth, John Houston there in seventh, Elkins eighth with Raymond there in ninth, as Raymond has got passed now by Drugman. Drugman still trying to run down Watchhorn as Watchhorn now is running down Elkins. As Elkins there up towards that outside wall, here comes Watchhorn down around the bottom side and easily gets around Elkins. And now Drugman has to do the same if he wants to keep on pace with that number 91 machine here tonight. Maurice Chameleon here in fourth, Blake Witowski there in fifth, Jake Stanley there in sixth, John Houston seventh, Jacob Elkins there in eighth, Aaron Raymond in ninth. Now I want to appreciate all the viewers coming out. If you have any thoughts for me about how I can improve things here, please let us know so we can. Whether it be sound issues, whether it be audio issues, video issues, whatever, let us know if there is any, and we will get on top of it and try to get it fixed. I know there is a couple areas that need a little bit of work, and we are going to work through them momentarily, but it looks like everything's running well right now, and I know there was a couple weeks where things looked pretty grim, but we're back running and running well here so far. Merrick Watchhorn first, Van Drugman there second, John Daniels third with Maurice Chameleon there in fourth, Blake Witowski fifth, John Houston sixth, Jack Stanley seventh, Jacob Elkins back here in ninth, and a lap down is Aaron Raymond. As Merrick gets past Elkins, I guess Elkins is a lap down to both Elkins is down a lap both to Watchhorn and Drugman as Drugman finally gets around Elkins. As Daniels is here in third, he's fallen off the pace. Maurice Chameleon working there on the bottom side of the 29 of Raymond as they go working on the lap car of the 29 Skittles machine. The 02, John Daniels still sitting comfortably there in third. Maurice Chameleon fourth, Blake Witowski there in fifth, John Houston in sixth, Jacob Stanley in seventh. Still out front, it's Merrick Watchhorn and Van Drugman, but I think this is going to become a battle here soon between the 44 and the 02. That's Daniels and Chameleon. Chameleon in that Budweiser number 44. And John Daniels in that purple and black 02 machine. As we come and start lap 135 of 200 here tonight. Down the front stretch in the corner, number one. Still Watchhorn out there in front. Drugman there second. Daniels third. Maurice Chameleon there in fourth. Blake Witowski there in fifth. John Houston there in sixth. Jack Stanley seventh. Jacob Elkins there in eighth. Aaron Raymond back here in ninth. As we are losing some of the lead lap machines. As I think the next one to fall is probably going to be the 95 of Jack Stanley. Unless it's going to be John Houston. It's going to be one of those two drivers or both as Watchhorn is slowly closing in. And down here into the corner, it is going to be Watchhorn, still our leader, as Drugman's trying to chase him down. And those two lap machines, or soon to be lap machines of Stanley and Houston, may become an issue, though it could become a pick for Drugman if he can get up there to Watchorn in time. But it's going to be hard to say what's going to happen as we are down to lap 138 of 200 is what we're working on, and it's soon going to be lap 139, 138 laps in the books. Jack Stanley off track. Aaron Raymond off track. Not sure exactly what happened. We'll take a quick look here. To see what happened. Oh, these two drivers are at it again. Aaron Raymond and Jack Stanley. Not sure what happened to Stanley here. Stanley having issues. We saw what happened there with Elkins. I'm sorry. Well, Elkins kind of did it. There goes the 95 down here into the bottom of the racetrack. Still no caution, though, as everybody got it straightened out, and we are back, and we're staying green as we're on lap 141 right now, as Merrick has caught both Houston and Stanley. Raymond now coming into the pits, going yet another lap down. Here comes the 28 of Houston up around, and we got Drugman trying to work his way to catch up to those lap down machines of Stanley and Houston, as Watchorn made quick work of those two cars and has come down here into 3 and 4 here at lap 142. And there's going to be 142 laps in the books when he comes across the line. And we're now working on lap 143 down here in the corner number 1 onto the backstretch. And Stanley and Houston still trying to battle it out for that position as they are both on the same lap. And there you see Drugman coming along in the back here in second place, trying to get up there to those lap cars. As laps are ticking away here tonight at North Wilkesboro Speedway, an old NASCAR Cup Series track. I think before it reopened, the last race that was held was in '96, and I believe, if I'm remembering my facts right, Jeff Gordon was the winner in '96 for the last race before this racetrack closed. And then it just recently reopened as the All-Star track last year. I think they raced it this year as well. I'm almost positive they raced it last year. Forgive me if my facts are wrong. Not, like I said, I'm not the best at remembering all the facts and stuff. So John Daniels sitting here third, Maurice Chameleon fourth, as they still battle it out. And you see back there Jacob Elkins trying to work his way up here and get somewhere into some sort of position to get a lap back, as the 29 of Raymond back here towards the back and falling into the crosshairs of Elkins again. We'll see how well this goes. These two drivers really had a beef with one another all race long. Watchorn out front. Van Drugman there second. Gets around those two lap machines of Houston and Stanley. Houston and Stanley still battling it out as Houston tries to take over sixth place as they work back out onto the back stretch. Or I'm sorry, front stretch. No, I was right. Back stretch coming down here into 3. So it looks like Elkins and Raymond are on 2 different laps now. Stanley, Elkins, and Houston all on the same lap. As you got the O2 of Daniels working up here in third. Merrick Watchorn has got company as Drugman has finally chased him down here at lap 150. And we got 50 laps to go here at North Wilkesboro here tonight. Now the question becomes, will we see a bump and run when the laps wind down to like 3 to go, 2 to go? Will we see a bump and run here tonight for these drivers? As Merrick Watchorn rolls around here to the front, Van Drugman there in second, John Daniels there in third, Maurice Chameleon there in fourth, Blake Witowski fifth, John Houston sixth, Jack Stanley seventh, and Jacob Elkins here in eighth. as Aaron Raymond rolls out here tonight in ninth. So side by side for these two drivers once again here tonight, and getting a little greedy with the track space, and they save it coming off the corner. And Drugman still trying to chase down Merrick as they come off of corner number 4, as Merrick still has that lead coming down here into corner number 1. But look out, here comes that 9, diving it hard down there into corner number 1, and trying to get the drive off out of 2 down the backstretch. And into 3, he drives it hard back down there into that bottom groove, and to see if he can get that to stick. Now we know that 9 has been able to get that inside lane to stick quite well in certain areas and certain times. Question is, how much is he burning his tires up when he's down there across that line? He has to get a little loose there coming off of 2, back down here into 3. Lost a little bit of momentum, now has fallen back a little bit off of Watchorn. John Daniels back here 3rd with Maurice Chameleon here in 4th. Rutowski there in 5th. Watchorn still doing all he can to stay out front in this one, but got that number 9 of Van Drugman there in 2nd, doing all he can to stay with him and possibly try to find that run underneath. 156 laps in the books here tonight at North Wilkesboro, as the drivers are having fun out here for their all-star race. This, again, is a non-points race, as everybody's hanging out, doing all they can to get just some track experience tonight here at this short track, as they do have, I believe I heard, a couple other short tracks on the schedule. Trying to see here if I can see. I'm not seeing really any other short track per se on the ballot or on the schedule. As 02 lets the 28 of Houston around. I'm pretty sure that's what was going on there. Because I don't think they're battling too hard. Or is he? Oh, no, he's there battling him for that, trying to get him behind him as a lap car. Houston doing what he can to try to not go down too far. Watchorn still up front. Daniels, though, here 2nd. What happened here to Van Drugman goes into the pits for a green flag pit stop here at lap 61. Watchorn's coming in now. Van Drugman's going out. So this really changes some things up here. And with just under 40 laps to go, John Daniels now our race leader. I do not think he has the fuel to go all the distance. As he last pitted at lap 95, I do not believe that 02 has the fuel to go the distance. But he's right here at the back of Watchorn. And Watchorn coming out of pit lane just in front of him. There's, you see the 95 way up against that outside wall. As Merrick's trying to get around him. And they got that 24 machine up there in front of them. Right in front of him is that 29 of Aaron Raymond. And number 9 of Van Drugman doing a very decent job up here towards the front. Pitting a lap earlier than Watchorn. Might have played out into his favor as we got the 29 into that outside wall. Gets it off and straight once again. John Daniels still our race leader with Merrick now not Merrick, but Maurice Chameleon there in 2nd in that number 44 as they come around the 28 of John Houston. Blake Witowski here in 3rd, and at number 31, Jack Link's Milwaukee Machine coming down here in the corner number 3 and 4. And Von Drugman. And there you see Witowski coming in the pit lane. So that's going to hand third over to Van Drugman and move everybody up a spot per se. There comes Watchorn. So really, this is going to end up being an interesting battle as Drugman now has the front, has the clean air. Watchorn sitting here in second. A little bit dirtier air there in second, but doesn't seem to be too bad. As everybody's coming down the front stretch in the corner, number one, Witowski coming out of pit lane. And you still got John Daniels and Maurice Chameleon who pitted at lap 95. Jack Stanley and John Houston pitted at lap 95, 96. So as it come across the line, it's still Daniels for it. The race lead. Maurice Chameleon there in second. Drugman there in third as Merrick's there in fourth. These two drivers have been battling hard all race long, trying to get up there to one another and battle hard for their position. And they're just waiting for them green flag pit stop cycles to filter out, and that's going to hand the lead back over to Drugman or Watchorn, who's ever in front at that time. And right now, it's looking as though Drugman can hold on at the moment as Daniel's doing all he can out there in front. He doesn't want to give up that lead too easily. And neither does Maurice Chameleon. He don't really want to give up that second spot. But I just don't think they have the fuel to make it all the way. We got the 95 of Jack Stanley there in fifth, right between John Daniels and Maurice Chameleon. Seeing how well all this works. And I heard somebody shouting they're going to the pits, trying to figure out who's going to the pits. Aaron Raymond going to the pits. John Daniels still holding on to the lead for the moment. 26 laps to go. Does he have the fuel? Did he save enough fuel? Maurice Chameleon there in second. Von Drugman there in third. Merrick Watchorn there in fourth. This is going to get interesting as the laps wind down. We've got Jacob Elkins damaged trying and going on the pit road. Take a look real quick to see what happened to Elkins. As he just ended up in that outside lane. Not sure exactly what happened. It looks like he just got tight and it just sent up, but he looks like he been pushing that bumper around. There we go. There's kind of a little bit about what happened there. Watch the 29. He's going to come down and give him a good shove. Shoves him up the racetrack, and he gets into that outside wall and that bumper. Comes off, so interesting battles between those two drivers here tonight. Out front, though, it's still John Daniels, Van Drugman there in second, Merrick Watchorn there in third, as they work their way around Maurice Chameleon. Maurice Chameleon back to fourth, 22 laps to go. Jack Stanley sitting in fifth as the first lap down car. 4 drivers on the lead lap. 3 of them all in a line right here. John Daniels, Van Drugman, Merrick Watchorn, all right here. And here comes the 44 of Maurice Chameleon trying to join in on the fun as well. And you got, looks like Drugman down there on the inside, going to try to get around Daniels as quick as he can. But Watchorn wastes no time, and he also gets around coming down here into corner number 1. So that hands the lead over under green, back over to Van Drugman. Now Daniels being in third. Does he come in this time to pit? I don't know if he's got the fuel to make it. Van Drugman out here in front in that number 9 machine. Merrick Watchorn there in second. And like I said, that 9 was something to watch here tonight, as Watchorn has his work cut out for him to try to stay with Drugman. Drugman been strong all night long in that Napa number 9. They come off of 4, across the stripe. Now 18 laps to go down here in the corner number 1. Front to back here for first and second. A little farther back is John Daniels there in third. Maurice Chameleon back here in fourth. Aaron Raymond coming back to pit road as he's beat up. And I don't have anything for that machine on my scoring chart, so makes me wonder if he had another run-in with Jacob Elkins. Merrick Watchorn here in second, trying to chase down Drugman. And John Daniels back here in third. Maurice Chameleon in fourth. Those are your top 4 drivers as it stands. Witowski getting around Stanley for that position. Houston back here in 7th. So even though he's laps down, Jack Stanley still made up 4 positions from where he started. Only 3 drivers gained at least a spot from where they started. And Merrick Watchorn has fallen back a little bit here from where he started, as he's currently running second. He was your pole sitter, but Drugman really putting it down here tonight in that number 9 Napa-sponsored machine. They come down through the front stretch down in the corner number 1. You see Watchorn still trying to get up there to him with 14 laps to go. Daniels sitting back here in third. Unsure exactly when Daniels is going to pit. Same with Chameleon. Witowski also in that same area. When will they pit? Daniels and Chameleon are the 2 that I'm wondering about pitting. Stanley also is a driver that pitted back at lap 95. Coming off of 4th, 12 laps to go, coming down here in the corner number 1. And this is quite a fight here for the lead. And we also got the battle brewing up here for 4th, as Chameleon is chasing down Daniels. A little far back, that's Houston trying to work his way up just to try to figure out where, get some track time, as he is a few laps down. And you see up at the top, you got about a 7-second gap between Drugman and Daniels, but only a 0.2 gap between Watchorn and Daniels. So they are close for first and second. And oh no, there goes, and Watchorn gets a little loose coming down out of 4, down here into 1 and 2. Onto the backstretch. Comes out of 2 a lot better than what he did that turn number 4 that last lap. He does not want to put that power down too quick and snap that thing sideways. He wants to try to get it down evenly so he can get up there and battle for that lead. As there you see Daniel still running in third. Chameleon there in 4th. Witowski up there running in 5th. Stanley 6th. Houston there in 7th. Elkins in 8th as he's up against that outside wall, along with Raymond, as well as Raymond is broke once again. Chameleon comes into the pits. And we have just 2 drivers still on the racetrack who pitted at lap 95. Do they have the fuel? As Daniels is here in 3rd. And Stanley is back here coming to pit lane this time. So now we only have 1 driver who hasn't been to pit lane since lap 95, and that is the 02 of John Daniels. Coming down through, it's going to be 5 laps to go when they cross the stripe. Next time by as we come down here across the front stretch, down across the stripe, across the back stretch down here into corner number 3 and 4. It is the number 9 of Von Drugman there out front, leading the way down here back into corner number 1. 5 laps to go. And laps are winding down. The stories are winding down here tonight for the Quantum Cup Series brought to you by the Cannonball iRacing Series. As we come down through in the corner number 1 once again, 4 laps to go. Drugman still out front. Who's it going to be at the end of this one? As we got 3 laps to go. Drugman out front. Watchhorn there in second here. And there you see those two still running up there against the wall. Not sure what these two drivers are doing unless they're just carrying on here at the end, kind of chastaining the outside wall. Goofing off here tonight in the All-Star race. Van Drugman out there in first, Merrick Watchhorn second. These are your two for the All-Star win here tonight. And I think Elkins and Raymond are still going at it, chastaining that outside wall here tonight. And there we go. Here we go, off the corner, final time. It is going to be Drugman for the race win here tonight. As he brings it down here, sliding, drifting into corner number 1. And going to bring it back around. We'll wait for our grid to come up here. As Drugman, great run there tonight by that number 9 Mappa machine. Starting in 11th, comes up and finishes in first. Von Drugman is your winner here tonight. Merrick Watchhorn here in second. John Daniels third. Blake Witowski there in fourth. Maurice Chameleon finishes tonight in fifth. John Houston there in sixth. Jack Stanley there in seventh. Jacob Elkins there in eighth. Aaron Raymond there in ninth. Kai Shappert in 10th. And Ace finishes there in 11th. That is your finishing order for the All-Star race here tonight for the Cannonball Quantum Cup Series. So as he's burning it down, let's see who we hit. Oh, come on now. Be nice. Looking for Drugman, Watchhorn, and Daniels at some point. Uh, all right, here's our third place finisher, Daniels. Good evening, Daniels. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Can't complain on a nice top 3 finish.
You got top 3, but them two in front of you, they definitely had cars to beat here tonight.
Yeah, I was. The fuel we had set was only going to get us to about lap 90 or just under on a run. So from the beginning, I was fuel saving, and we were all in one of the hangout rooms in the Discord here, and they were talking about, and they only hit a couple of these guys that, yeah, they were running full tilt. And I thought I was going to be sitting pretty there on strategy, but they were fast enough on the fresh tires to pull away, and I just didn't have anything for them when the time came. And I was trying to save the set of tires in case the caution did come out at the end.
Well, you just never know when them cautions fly. They can work for you or against you. You just never know when or if they're going to fly.
Exactly. Something I've learned in league racing is you always run the tank dry because the second you pit is the second that something happens.
Well, how close were you on fuel finishing here tonight in that third position?
I wound up having like 1 to 2 laps extra, but to counter that point, I was clutching in at the start finish line and picking the throttle back up, in middle of 1 and 2, middle 3 and 4. So I was working it the entire run, and I only still had 1 to 2 laps left.
I was wondering if you were going to have to pit or not for the for fuel or not, because I saw that you were the last driver that pitted at lap 95. Everybody else pitted after that, so it was interesting to find out. Daniel's going to have to come in for fuel.
No, it that's one of the things, and like I mentioned before, we all work and help each other, and over the months, I've gotten a lot better at fuel saving and learning how to, within reason, fuel save and still maintain relative speed, both on road courses and ovals. So, just one of those things I've learned. I'm slowly being able to properly implement it.
It just unfortunately was not enough to get you up higher on the podium, but you still had a great run here, finishing third.
Yeah, and like I said, had a fun time doing it. Probably one of the better races I've run in Cannonball, and we'll be looking forward to the next one out.
Well, what? Who's your sponsor or shout out you want to give here tonight?
I'll try and make it quick. We got Wagner Welding on the quarter panel. We got Mag Real Estate on the deck lid. Prairie Rim protectors on the side. And of course, the wonderful visual novel, Fine Lever Diatrine, and for the wonderful cat car that this is. We got the top 5, so we get the chalky milk.
Nice. So, all right. Well, good luck to you and next week, as well as I think if I saw the schedule correct, you're at Charlotte Motor Speedway next week.
Correct, and that's going to be our longer race, if memory serves, about 200 laps, if I remember correctly.
That is correct. It is 200 laps, 300 miles.
So yeah, that'll be our quote, and that'll be our proper endurance race for the year. So, well, I'll be looking forward to it and having fun with that. And hopefully, I'll be in their broadcast booth again soon, or hopefully in the winner's circle.
Well, keep digging and good luck to you.
Indeed, amen to that, and see you next time.
All right. That was John Daniels, our third place finisher here tonight. We'll get with Merrick Watchorn here. Good evening, Merrick.
Hey, Adam. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Not a whole lot, but another podium finish for the week, if I can remember in my head correctly.
Yeah. One on Monday. I didn't show up on Wednesday, and Thursday we all know what happened with with the DDoS attack. And then of course, like tonight, Elliot hasn't raced with us in at least a full season. Last time he was here was in 2022, so to see him back on the track was pretty cool. Hopefully he keeps showing back up, to showcase the league some more. So,
all right. So, how do you say his name?
Elliot is his name, but he goes by Vaughn.
Vaughn. Okay.
Vaughn. Yeah. But he's a good kid. He's super duper fast. It's something we definitely needed. And it just reminded me that there's always gonna be fast people out there. So I gotta put my head down and practice some more. I've been slacking in the in that department. So you live and learn, and you figure out what works best for you and move past that.
I think he started either 10th or 11th tonight and ended up coming out with the win.
Yeah. Like I said, a lot of he was one of those guys back in 2022 and 2021 who were challenging me for the championship at one point. So he is no stranger to winning races or being up front. So like I said, it was very good to see him back in the saddle and racing with us again and being part of the league again. So very cool, cat. Yeah, just it's a
Well,
good kid.
who's your sponsors and shout outs you want to give for helping you get into that second place finish here tonight?
Oh yeah, no, just give a shout out to the league and everyone who did show up tonight. Uh, Probably because it was the All Star race and I goofed up on the settings themselves. It's the reason why a lot of people didn't show up. But it was a good time to see everyone come back out and be a part of the league and everything else. Um, we'll try to accommodate and get our act together when it comes to make sure we don't screw up the pooch when it comes to make sure everyone gets on. Give a shout out to Twiggy, to QSA, you guys for broadcasting us, and of course my admins and everything else. Good shout out to my girlfriend. Hi babe, love you. And then besides that, man, it's a good old time, and hopefully everyone comes back out next week. Next week's the Coke 6, our version of the Coke 600, which is just the CarMax 300. So 200 laps under the lights at Charlotte next week. So it's going to be a long race, a long one to be sure.
Well, that sounds like it'd be a fun one indeed. So, uh, we'll be looking forward to that one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So
All right. Well, congrats on that second place, and hopefully you can keep continuing this momentum throughout the season.
yeah, we're getting close to the playoffs. So when we go to the chase, we're doing like 2005 chase for the cup. So there's only one reset, and then we race the last 10 races as a whole. So those 12 drivers, the Victory 12s, are getting very much closer to the end of the season. So everyone pay attention. It's going to be the ones who in the top 12 in points. Those are going to be your drivers who are going to get the reset and battle out for the championship this year. So very excited. Hopefully everyone comes out as always and just have some fun.
Alrighty, well, congrats there to you again for that second, and we definitely look forward to that. And I'm not sure where Vaughn went. Looks like he left the Discord for the moment. I'm not sure if he'll be back or not.
Yeah, his mom was calling him, so he might have had a dip, So it's one of those things. If he can't come back, unfortunately, like I said, he was getting yelled at by his mom for a hot minute. I was hearing it over the Discord. Well, you're in trouble. Like I was making fun. Like you're in trouble. Your mom.
Yeah, it happens.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, but yeah, no, it was a fun race tonight, and hopefully we just next year we're probably not gonna have the All Star because I'm just getting frustrated with iRacing at this point. Uh, they messed up the whole stage and everything else. So it is what it is.
They messed up the stage.
Well, with where their system is, it's very much backwards. So it was just I even like used tutorial to make sure we had it all set up and ready to go, and unfortunately, that's just not how that went down.
I know there's changes and everything going on with iRacing this week, and obviously with that whole problem yesterday, I haven't even fully figured out what the whole problem was, but
Yeah, it is what it is. So,
it
but
is.
thank you, of
We
course,
move
for
on,
always.
right?
We move on to next week.
So, well, congrats there, Merrick, for a second place finish tonight, and keep that momentum going. We'll see how the rest of your season goes.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right, that was Watchhorn there, our second place winner, and as we heard, we think Vaughn had to dip out, so we'll catch up with him if we can at another point. But for tonight, he is your race winner here, coming up through the field with ease tonight in that number 9 Napa machine, taking home the win. Everybody have a great night. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the racing.